Hello. They said that we could use notes. In nature, the pause is part of the go in the overall cycle of life and production. Things happen by sequences of actions and pauses. We can pause and be in line with our nature, or we can ignore our nature's need until something breaks. Yet we live in a culture that honors constant production, striving to always be on. We reward that and call it dedication. When we can't be on, we call it failure, feeling broken and incompetent. We tell ourselves we don't need to pause, but it's far from the truth. Let me introduce you to a woman I'm honored to know, Bend local Rain Johnson. An intelligent, dependable woman with a heart of gold, Rain was a force of nature in her work in the field of diversity for Microsoft and a variety of other endeavors. Juggling her schedule left her disciplined to succeed. She ate well, managed her stress with exercise, and was an amazing multitasker for all that she achieved. She completed project after project with staying power, praised for her ability to produce. Rain felt the effects of fatigue set in, but she powered through, despite feeling uncharacteristically emotional, grouchy, and exhausted. She lived in a world where it was believed she needed to be on for success. Renewal was not of interest to anyone until chronic go brought her to a halt. Rain was part of such a system of efficiency, she began having stress blackouts. With each blackout, she hit her head, causing a concussion, and with the concussions came traumatic brain injury. A year and a half into recovery, she is unable to return to her career. I know the cultural system Rain was affected by. It touched me too from the time I was a child. But now that I've grown up and tried using this approach with failure, I found there is a glitch in the cultural model we were raised in. Oversimplified, it looks like this. Unfortunately, this picture of success is incomplete and leads us to believe that if we just keep running, we'll surely make it. Perhaps you were raised in it too. Growing into great respect for intentional pauses, I was challenged to use them in my own life. Making room for pause has become an intent act of will that I maintain with boundaries, not an item of luxury or something I can afford to do later. A couple of years ago, I reached an exalted point in my life where my life's gifts, journeys, and longings delivered me to the work I am meant to do in the world. I could not wait to grow this work without a moment to lose. I am a single mother of two with no army of minions. I squared my shoulders to the task of juggling and learning and celebrated each step, filing my business, getting a logo, a website, spreading the word. Excitement was palpable. Within months, I was invited for TV and radio interviews, a news article. My work was gaining momentum. I was elated to be sharing my gifts and rapidly growing plans. I witnessed myself becoming fatigued, grouchy, and emotional. I'd sent my kids to watch movies for just 1 more hour while doing computer work from home. I witnessed my children needing me. Gaining momentum would spin us out of control if I did not pause my company to be more present with myself and my children. Setting aside fear that if I paused, I may not be able to gain momentum again and be seen as a failure in a culture defined by go, I intently paused for 1.5 years on the life's work I had just begun until my youngest was old enough to enter kindergarten. In the long haul, the pause would prevent the go from breaking us. It was rooted in a much bigger picture of successful action. I am happy to report that my son made it to kindergarten, I've re-engaged my work, and the momentum was waiting for me to tap back into it. There are still times I have to power through, but I work mindfully to edit my life and my consumptions in a way that leaves room for pauses, because I know my family and I would break without them. Ask yourself, what do you need to make room for pause so that individuals and collectives might experience less forced stops? How can we support each other along actual paths of success, not idealized ones? I invite you to create a more well-rounded cultural model of success that acknowledges your humanity and the humanity of your peers, family members, employees, and bosses. Let us live a legacy that betters the glitched shortcut to burnout called making it that I picked up along the way. Because in reality, the it that we make by nonstop action is often not what we want at all, is it? While I know there is much more to accomplish with this topic, I'm going to trust that what I've given to this work is enough for today. I'll come back to it later. And with that, I'm taking an intent pause. Thank you.